Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Miss Balkis Faniagita from Law Batch 2023. Today, I will bring a presentation about the environmental impact of fossil fuels. So, before we go to the definition, I will let you know about the table of contents about my presentation today. There are 5 table of contents of my presentation today. The first one, we will talk about the definition. We will talk about the definition of fossil fuels. And the second one, we have a level of the analysis. So, we will search based of the data about the level of the analysis of fossil fuels. And we will go to the impact of fossil fuels. So we will learn about what is the impact of fossil fuels. And the fourth, we will talk about the codes. So there are codes of fossil fuels. And then we will go to the conclusion. It will be the last part of our presentation. So we will go to the definition. But before we go to the definition, does anyone haven't heard about the fossil fuels yet? Okay, good. Everyone knows about the fossil fuels, right? Let me talk you more about fossil fuels. What is fossil fuels? So, fossil fuels are natural resources containing hydrocarbons such as coal, petroleum, and natural gas that form naturally in the Earth's crust. And fossil fuels can be formed due to the decay process of organisms that died hundreds of millions years ago. So as the PPT said, fossil fuels are the fuels that comes from the fossil of the underground. It processed by can be the hundred or million years ago. There are 3 types of fossil fuels, and there are 3 types of fossil fuels that be extracted. The first one, the fossil fuels that extracted become to be coal, and it's extracted through a surface or underground mining. And the second one, we have petroleum. Petroleum extracted, fossil fuels extracted to be a petroleum. It's on land and offshore drilling through the use of a rig or a platform. And the third one, we have natural gas extracted. The fossil fuels extracted by become to be the natural gas. It's drilled then pumped into pipelines. And we have a level of analysis. There are several levels of analysis. So, based on the data, we have the global impact of fossil fuels. The global impact comes from the global analysis that we already got by the data. The global analysis encompasses the overall influence of fossil fuel consumption on our planet's health. So, the fossil fuels have a global impact for our environmental. And the second one, the more specific, we have the regional assessment. At the regional level, the focus is on how specific geographical areas are affected by fossil fuel usage. So, from the global impact, we have the more specific one, that is regional assessment. And the third one, we have local implication. What is local implication? Local implication is a local analysis dives into the immediate impacts of fossil fuel activities on communities and ecosystem. And anyone knows about what is the impact of fossil fuels? Okay, let me talk about this. So I will talk about and I will explain about how can fossil fuels be impacted by our environment. So, when fossil fuels are burnt, they release a large amounts of carbon dioxide, a greenhouse gas, into the air. Until here, anyone not got it? Okay, so we are clear so far, right? The greenhouse gases trap heat in our atmosphere. So, the greenhouse, we have several atmosphere in our Earth, right? The greenhouse gases trap heat in our atmosphere, so it's causing a global warming. And already the average global temperature has increased by 1 Celsius. And we have a quote of this issue that Lindsey Graham said that the sooner we get started with alternative energy sources and recognize that fossil fuels make us less secure as a nation and more dangerous as a planet, a better off we'll be. So we will get to the conclusion. I have the conclusion for all of my presentation today. So fossil fuels are very beneficial for our life nowadays, but there are many losses for our environmental by its process. So like what Lindsey Graham said, we as a Gen Z and the next person who will make our life better, we have to search about the alternative energy for our environmental, because fossil fuels have a bad impact for our environmental, right? So it's our task to search and analyze about the alternative energy. So that's all for my presentation. I hope you know about the fossil fuels clear. Thank you.